China has unveiled ambitious plans to build a new space station and put it in orbit by 2020. According to China's ambassador to the UN, construction of the space station is already underway and the craft will be open for scientists around the world to use from 2022. Like the International Space Station, the China space station would orbit 250 miles above Earth. China hopes the space station will be operational for around a decade, supporting astronauts for 180-day stints. This means it could outlive the ISS, which may lose its funding from the White House as soon as 2024, according to the latest documents. CSS belongs not only to China, but also to the world, said Shi Zhongjin, China's ambassador to UN, according to state-run news agency Xinhua. All countries, regardless of their size and level of development, can participate in the cooperation on an equal footing, he said. The CSS is due to be launched by 2019 and will be fully operational by 2022, according to the documents released by the UN's Office for Outer Space Affairs. Up to 3 astronauts will be able to live in the CSS, which consists of 1 core module and 2 experimental ones, at the same time. Through the vehicle of CSS, we would like to build up a model of sincere mutual beneficial cooperation among countries in the peaceful exploration and use of outer space, Mr. Shi said. The U.S. initially banned China from participating in the ISS project, which is run by the European Space Agency, Canada, Russia and Japan. It looks like the new space station could also outlive the ISS. The Trump administration is thinking about privatizing the International Space Station, according to NASA documents obtained by the Washington Post in February. The White House wants to stop funding for the station after 2024, the documents indicate, and is working on a transition plan to hand the orbiting lab over to private industry. NASA will expand international and commercial partnerships over the next 7 years in order to ensure continued human access to and presence in low Earth orbit, the document said. More would be given to the project for additional years to enable the development and maturation of commercial entities and capabilities, which will ensure that commercial successors to the ISS, potentially including elements of the ISS, are operational when they are needed. Between 1999 and 2017, China has had 15 successful space missions. Last month China launched a relay satellite. It was part of the country's mission to become the first to soft land a probe on the Moon's far side, also known as the dark side because it faces away from Earth and is comparatively unknown. The satellite is named Kenjiao or Magpie Bridge after an ancient Chinese folktale about an arc formed by birds which reunites 2 lovers. It is set to connect the ground station with the lunar probe, which is due to launch later this year. China lost control of its first ever space station Tiangong-1 in 2016, just 5 years after its launch. The 10.4-meter-long spacecraft was left to spiral back toward Earth with no way of anticipating where it would land. In December 2017, China alerted the United Nations that Tiangong-1 would come down by late March 2018 but could not predict exactly when or where. It was carrying highly toxic chemicals and could have crashed into a number of highly populated areas, including New York, Barcelona and Chicago. Tiangong-1 came down in the Central Pacific Ocean on April 2, 2018, and mostly burned up in the atmosphere upon re-entry. A second Chinese space station, Tiangong-2, was launched in 2016 after Tiangong-1 went offline and remains in orbit.